is so fucking weird.
Why is everything a struggle with her, dude? It's such a struggle bus.
Dude, the instructions come with pictures to help.
Her pants are all the way off for some reason.
It's got to be easier to aim than the real thing. Rushing water.
And here's where it goes into a weird like she just learns to pee standing up and now she's got to cross streams and whatever. Like Al's just going all full bore into the I gotta pee and now we're crossing streams.
Point and shoot. Oh dear God.
Maybe she's got a shy bladder. She can't do it. She said she's got to pee. She can't do it.
It told me this 3 hours ago too. Fuck you.
All right, we're gonna have to do an on-screen.
She really can't perform on the Shiwi.
She can't do it.
Are we still alive and active on your side?
It looks like it to me.
I'm still gonna try that.
Yeah, you're moving. You can see you and everything.
I mean, I'm delayed,
Yeah,
but
she's going
here I
back
am.
out.
We're gonna have to do an on-screen.
Okay, that's crazy. All my stuff is saying no mas. So weird.
Right.
So what's going on there, Shiwi?
Nah, I'm not the videotape, but I'm still gonna try.
All right, she's still gonna try.
Well, here we learned something else about her that she's got a shy bladder. Like she
Yeah,
can't.
there you go. She can't perform in public.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, now that she's got the Shiwi, we're definitely gonna have to break her out of that one because I need pissing contests.
Yeah. Well, part of the beauty of doing this is just her freaking out people, which is
Right.
I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna pee. I'm totally gonna pee with the door open and have friends over the house and people walk by and she's standing there like, "What's up, cuz?"
Right. Like how's she gonna Shiwi fight with Marlene if she can't perform in public?
Yeah, you can't do anything with Marlene. Marlene will win.
And we'll have all this stuff set together, and when we do, it'll be,
Okay. Okay, so I guess it is.
I don't know. Is she more excited that she probably could now write her name in the snow or something?
Yeah, then it goes through and it immediately goes to that. I don't know why my media will not allow me to do
You know what
anything.
it probably is? You bought an iPhone.
No, the fact that it's
I wasn't gonna go there.
worked for 7 months. Today, it's just the iPhone was like, can't hack it, can't deal with it. Oh.
7 months is that cutoff. Didn't you get the memo?
Yeah. You didn't see that?
Yeah,
whole
I
deal?
guess I missed that. Well, okay. Well, that was weird. That was kind of anticlimactic, and we don't know. She'll come in and be like, "Oh, it's crazy. I so did. It was so awesome," and she just didn't pee. We can't. We gotta have.
Marlene, it's not is it legal? It's can we get away with it? And I think the answer is yes.
If we label it an educational video,
No. So her question, all right, now it says live video has been paused. So I don't know if we're still live, but
Oh, Graham will chime in 2 seconds.
That was weird. That was climactic, and we don't know. She'll come in and be like,
What's happening?
we are stuck, it looks like. Yep. Live video interrupted.
And I wonder if it's. Are you on my Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Maybe it has something to do with that here, but it's weird that it went through all of mine and then finally got yours.
Right.
well, okay. Well, that was weird. That was kind of anticlimactic, and
What happened?
she'll come in and be like,
Really?
We're still live? All right.
Oh, okay. All right, dude.
well, we're flying blind.
Yeah, we're flying blind, but that's all right.
Yeah, okay. We're just gonna.
Yep, there's Graham chiming in. So as I was saying, Marlene wants to go use the men's room with Aaliyah.
she needs help, and like that's a shame that even like doing
that's-
ladies things, she needs help, and then
Right.
doing like things that ladies, if you just put an apparatus somewhere, you need help. Like she
And
needs
like,
help.
I'm sorry, ladies, but this does not seem like it's that. There's a giant opening. You stick it on your vagine, and you just let go.
Yeah,
How hard is this?
I haven't heard of anyone else. I mean, Marlene
I don't know.
did
Here's the
say,
instructions.
Right.
yeah, read the.
No, the instructions literally have a picture of you sticking it on your vagine and letting it go.
It says put it,
Ju-
fit it to your body.
Directions. Just hold the PEZ against your body and go.
Oh, so did we get? You bought a knockoff? It's not a Shiwi. It's not name brand. It's a.
I told you it was coming from China, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's why it was
everything's made in China.
$2.
It's a piece of plastic. What do you really want? I mean, how much better can the actual one be?
Dude, let's make a good one, dude. Let's quit our jobs and make just cool things for chicks to pee in apparatuses.
Dude, I'm down.
Dude,
Let's do it.
we'll just make the shop just up here, and then back here will be a Shiwi production.
Customization.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
You get your name stamped into it. Get different colors. Maybe we'll put like a rhinestone on one of them.
Everyone loves
Have it
bedazzled.
light up.
Everyone loves bedazzling.
When you go to the club and you got to piss, you can just pull it out.
Glows in the dark.
It's glowing in the dark. It's strobing with the music.
All right, well, and dude, she's back there. Are you sure she better not be trying to like poop into it or something. Like she didn't read. We didn't give her the instruction manual. She's gonna come out and be like, it's weird. Nothing didn't really fit.
It's clogged.
Yeah, it's clogged or whatever. Why does it smell funny?
My bleep don't stink.
Yeah, I guess, dude. Yeah. So we'll see, dude. It's taking a really long time for her to use the Shiwi.
Well,
this
apparently
is not,
she really had to go.
Right?
dude. This is or my bathroom's gonna have pee all over.
Yeah, you're
it.
gonna come in there and
Oh.
cool.
Well, tell her she has to clean it.
Right?
Hey, we have to clean when we miss.
Right. I don't get to not clean. It's your pee. You best clean it.
Oh man. All right. So yeah. So this is I was expecting a lot out of my my Shiwi time, but okay. Well, a couple other things. Going from the we talked a little bit about the Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl Sunday. I chilled out. I was an adult. I stayed at home. I tried to be as adulty about it as possible.
Keep yourself out of trouble.
Don't get me wrong, I relaxed a little bit. I just didn't do it with the with the yellow water, with the beers. But another thing I noticed was I saw some stuff and I was like, no Super Bowl here at this house. I don't support overpaid athletes who don't respect men and women of our who have served and sacrificed everything to give them the right to be selfish assholes, right? And there's a thing with
Right.
no NFL, right? And I went, wow, like people are really like certain people are really holding, standing pat on that, like just years and years and years of whatever. And then just nope, because of that whole thing. And we found out your take on it. They're fucking, why is
There's action over there.
their shoes off?
Oh my God.
Why are your
There's
shoes
shoes
off?
off. She's washing something.
What happened? Did you poo in that thing? Huh?
There goes my eardrum.
All right, we
Press and play.
You're all damp. That really
Oh, God.
Oh, that's gangster.
wait. I want to see. I want to see.
Wow, she wasn't kidding. She really had to pee.
Did
The
she
fact that
wash
you
her
handed me your
hands?
phone all damp is kind of creeping me out. You just R. Kelly'd me.
Shut your face.
Oh,
I don't know. You can't really.
dude, that's a good stream, bro. Good job on your first time. That's a stream.
The camera can actually see this. Tell me what I'm doing here.
Yep.
I can pee, you motherfucker.
Yep, go ahead. Oh, nope, you got glare. There you go. That angle. Yeah, it's not great effect, but the fact that we have visual. Yep, there you go. Oh, dude, and that was a powerful stream, bro. That was good.
Like a motherfucker.
Are you
I feel
gonna-
like I need to wash my hands.
Are you? I know, dude. The phone's
God.
wet. Her shoes are off.
Why are you washing my hands, you jack?
Why are your shoes off?
Oh, because I was texting my friend. I was like, "Jason,
Wait, you had to have your shoes off to text your friend?
What?
Yeah, because that makes perfect sense. When I text my friends, I've got to take my shoes
Yeah.
off.
Well, that's weird. When I text my friends, I got to take my pants off.
Just take your pants off. I did that. He's like, no, take your pants off. I was like, okay. So I took my shoes and pants off. And then that came out, and I was like, oh.
I don't know about you guys. I don't need to take off my pants to pee.
So
Yeah, I've never had to take off my pants to pee. Sometimes I do it because I'm weird.
It's her
but-
first time. It's her first time peeing standing up. It's a big thing.
Did you
So
put the
did
seat
you
back down?
So did you let me see. Did you do you think now you will like constantly like when you've got to pee and be like, man, I got to use the restroom, be like, why did she just walk to her bedroom and like go to your bedroom, get the shiwi and pee? Like now do you think this will be a weird thing, like you just always have to pee standing up?
No, I'm just gonna go pee on the side of the building.
Yeah, are you
Thanks.
ever going to actually use a bathroom again?
Hell no.
Yeah, dude, she's going to get like three,
Public urinations.
Yep. No, dude, that's
Tomorrow we're going to come in and she's going to get, because if you do get caught urinating in public, you're now a registered sex offender, so.
I don't know if that plays with women though, and if her pants aren't all the way down and it's just there's
It's
really
still a
nothing
public
My
showing.
urination.
pants aren't all the way down and I pull my little thingy out, they're going to be like, hey, man,
Well, but because you're brandishing your
my weapon.
sex organ. Hers is
brandishing my
technically
weapon.
covered by whatever. They're bikinis
mean,
that
they-
cover as much as that.
It can fit out the fly of a zipper. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's what I thought she was going to do was, get it down
in
there,
there,
and get it
and then
out
zip
the
it back
zipper.
up.
Right. And now it's just, it's
but no,
tucked
apparently
in.
she really had to take.
Do that wearing a thong? You have to
No, I really don't.
Yeah, I'm not aware of how hard it is to do that wearing a thong, actually.
like, bro, that's a real thing.
I'm glad to
And
say
girls
that I
really be
don't-
wearing thongs nowadays, man. Ain't y'all over that?
Rachel, answer that question.
Like, isn't it more like, like booty shorts or whatever? I thought underwears had a
shorts.
comeback to where they were,
As long as we don't get all the way back to granny panties, I'll be fine.
yeah.
See, I'm just of the fan of, like, why are we wearing clothes in general? Let's all just be naked.
Because I
Naked
Because
and
nobody
happy.
wants to see this,
But if you always saw that, it wouldn't be a big deal.
or people will just be throwing up all the time.
Or it just wouldn't be a big deal because you'd be like, yeah, it's a fat guy. What up?
Yeah, there aren't that many, like, really in-shape people on the planet. They're actually a minority.
Right. So it would just
take
be
over
like,
the
that's
world.
that's a fat guy. That's an old woman. It'd be a normal thing.
Yeah.
And you know how much money people would save on clothes? Rappers wouldn't be going broke anymore.
Yeah. Well, they'd still have jewelry on, just
Yeah, well, I
no
guess
clothes.
that's true.
Yeah.
I'd rather wear clothes and not get frostbite.
Yeah. Up here,
Wow.
we kind of have to wear clothes.
Did I tell you?
Hmm.
I can pee standing.
No, seriously, that's how you should introduce yourself. I can
Yeah.
pee standing up.
Hi, I'm
What's your
Aaliyah. I
name?
pee standing up.
Yep. Nope. This is Liberation Corner. Anyone who says that we don't deal or believe in female causes and whatever, we just did something that it's almost like giving somebody who doesn't have legs, giving them legs back.
Right.
Like I feel like I just we technically gave her a prosthetic.
We kind of did.
We kind of did, and that's right. You were a part of this. I forgot. He's the man with the plan, the man with the shiwi.
Jake, so technically, doesn't that mean I can masturbate with that?
I mean, you could do a lot of stuff with a lot of stuff. I mean, if you really wanted to get intimate with your shiwi,
As
Go
long as
ahead.
you wash it first, I guess.
So you guys want to hear a fun fact?
huh.
The Berlin Wall stood for 10,316 days.
And it's been down for
Today it has been down for 10,316 days.
Hey, how about that?
That's just my nugget of information, all right?
This day in history. So, okay, so now that we've got the we've given the gift of peeing standing up. What about that thing with the I don't, and I know his whole thing. Well, they could have done a different thing, and I just don't get it and whatever.
For me, it's a weird thing to protest at. Like, you could have done something else, but kneeling during the national anthem, to me doesn't make sense of why that is what you chose to do.
To me, it
It
just
kind of
A
loses
nationals. Well, how does it lose? You get in front of millions of people. The hardest part of anything is getting people to hear or see or do whatever, right?
Okay.
The bad thing is when you look at the stands of the majority of sporting events, guess what you see? Al, right? You see Cracker,
scary thought.
Cracker
Yeah, that is
white
a
dude
scary
going.
thought.
"Ah."
That is-
And yes, you're getting in front of people who are either going to be sympathetic or non-sympathetic, right?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm all for the protest and the cause.
Right.
But to me, during the national anthem, it lost its touch. It lost its meaning.
Of
And-
course,
and that's-
regular run-of-the-mill white guy.
But that's really the point, is that instead of the conversation for the last 2 years being about racial violence, being about corrupt police departments, the conversation has been about
Kneeling.
Should they be allowed to kneel? Yeah. I mean, we have never actually had the conversation that they keep trying to have because they chose this as their avenue instead of,
And
hey,
everybody's
we're
focused-
required by the NFL to give this press conference, but the NFL does not tell us what we have to say. So instead of Colin Kaepernick coming out and saying, played a great game, team played hard, glad we won, I want to talk about this, and doing a 5-minute spiel on like, look, I see a problem here, let's talk about it, let's have a dialogue, you've turned it into something completely different. And it really doesn't help when the President of the United States says, we need to have a dialogue about this. Colin, come to the White House and let's talk about this. And he says, no. Are you really protesting anything if the most powerful man on earth is saying, let's talk about it, and you say no? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you guys, but see, that's what I get. It somehow, it bothers you, but none of the other, like, the empathy in general for the actual what's really going on, it doesn't matter and whatever because it doesn't affect you.
No. It does affect me because it's not just about one race or the other. It's about the rights of people. It's about corrupt police departments. I mean, this is not a black or white issue. I think that's the other piece that this got. By kneeling during the national anthem, it turned into a black and white issue, and it never has been that. It has always been there's a problem in our police department today. Why does the police department need freaking riot tanks? That's a problem. But we're not having that conversation because you've chosen this piss poor avenue to protest it in.
Yeah, but
you've destroyed your protest before you even getting to start it.
But see, that's the whole point. Like you look at how or why, and it's very simple. When I look at the people that are particularly upset by it, are fans of guns, right? Country music, guns, America, super this and this, and then you've got others that just go, why are you sullying up my Sunday, right? Like I don't.
Right. I don't really want to have this conversation about whether you can kneel or not during the national anthem. That's A, it's not the conversation any of us really want to have, and B, can't I just watch a darn football game?
Well, and I'm not one to. Yes, if it was that big of a deal, where is the spokesperson and the person doing whatever and carrying on dialogue and whatever? Now the funny thing is
he's ignoring actual meetings with the president.
Well, he did something. Now you can't. It's like it's projecting on him, right? Like he sees something. Now you look at the run-of-the-mill average person, right? You see this, you see that. Some things you can be watching on TV and they'll affect you, and there's some things that he will see and it will not affect him. Or me watching the Super Bowl ads over the weekend went not one chuckle out of anything, right? So things affect people differently. So the individual that went no and felt strongly enough to I'm going to do this and whatever, and cool. Sometimes people will do. Now, Rosa Parks didn't run around and go do this and that. She went, no, you can't take my seat on the bus. And no, I'm not going to move for you. Yeah. She didn't ask to be a social and a, she didn't ask for all that, but she did in action. And then things changed after that, right?
When the president said, and I don't actually know if this happened, but I guarantee you if the president had said, Rosa, let's come to the White House and let's talk about this. Let's work together on this. She would not have said no.
How do you know?
Because nobody,
you're working off intangibles, libertarian.
Nobody in their right mind would look at this and go, "This is what you're fighting for. You're fighting to have a powerful person say, let's fix this problem. Let's start a dialogue. You want your voice heard. I'm the guy who's going to hear your voice, and I want to fix this problem.
If he wanted to use if he wanted to use his voice, he probably would have used his voice. He did a silent protest. Right, so
but what do you expect to happen?
Again, look? This is the thing that drives me nuts. What do you expect to happen, and how do you think, and why are you projecting all kinds of stuff? Dude went, I'm doing this, and there's some stuff and whatever, and took a knee, and then other people went, you know what? I agree with it. Now maybe none of them are super articulate or want to be the face and whatever, but unity, right? If one person, if you one person does this, and then multiple people do this, and then hey, other people see it, and it spread to high schools, it spread to Germany. German soccer players went, dude, the things that happen over there are ridiculous, and took a knee and outraged Germany. So there's something to it. Now, whether or not, yes, is it going to stop or is anything, I don't think anything's changed.
I mean, I hope it doesn't stop, honestly.
But it baffles me, the run-of-the-mill, and I guess the point that, what I was making with the thing is that run-of-the-mill average people nope, I'm not going to watch. I don't know what one could do other than the game being horrible or, Jerry Jones maybe, right? He made me stop watching the Cowboys. Like, he did it. I don't know what he did. And psychologically, it affected me in a weird way, just seeing that puckered up old, snarky face of his.
You just can't take it?
That I really can't, and that's why I can't watch Cowboys or whatever. So with doing that, you look at some of these people that like, that's it. Like, and it's the disrespecting the flag and service people and whatever, right? No,
yeah, tell me it disrespects service people when the Army football team all takes a knee.
Right. You gotta the will of the people before your job, and you're this and you're this, and it's kind of how some people go, oh, it's God, family, church, or church, God, family, whatever people put weird context of what comes first or whatever, right?
Sure.
The same thing, that me as a human being takes precedence before I'm a steel worker, before I'm a professional baseball player or whatever.
Right.
The human, right? Like,
but again, your employer has pretty much told you, hey, don't do this, and then you do it, and then you wonder why you get fired.
Oh, it's whatever. I don't think anyone's wondering why, why or how. I mean, again,
and it's interesting to hear like actual civil rights leaders today get on camera and go, stop freaking kneeling, because nobody's listening to you.
Well,
and they're saying, let's have a conversation, absolutely, but
well, you know what?
Stop destroying this.
Here's the deal. I don't know if you know that other people could take the ball and have a conversation about it. So
well,
if
it's
nobody's
a two-sided conversation, and when one side says, let's talk about it, and the other side says, no, you've totally lost all validation in my book.
But what other side are you talking about? Every person of color? A couple football players, not that, but any
Donald
individual.
Trump, one of the first things he did when he was in office is he said, look, let's have this conversation. He invited Black Lives Matter leaders. He invited Colin Kaepernick. He invited NFL players. They said no.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't.
Look,
I mean,
I don't like Donald Trump either, but if Donald Trump called me up and said, hey, let's have a conversation about this, I'd go. Because at worst, nothing happens. But at best, maybe we actually have a good conversation, and maybe something does come out of it. But to just flat say no,
you just try and turn him into a libertarian. and
Maybe.
you would have to show fact, and I would need to see some science on the fact that he actually reached out and asked person A, person B.
I mean, he did it through the media. He came out and was like, get with my people,
tweets?
let's go.
Yeah,
let's go. And Colin Kaepernick came out through the media and was like, no, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, well, dude, half of there moves on to the next part of this, that moving on to, half of the Philadelphia Eagles already are saying, dude, I'm not going to the White House.
Right, which is like, great, don't go.
Like, it's, I mean, come on, you have to, with all the, the American Nazi crap and the this and all the things that he said about people of this. Dude, I listened to some stuff today, like I was just watching him going back and basically joking about it's treasonous to the fact that Democrats don't, applaud when he's on, just the weird narcissistic,
right,
crazy, whatever. Like, I watched that, and just looking at his, mannerisms and how he's doing, I wouldn't have a conversation with the man. I'm like, what?
He's trying to stroke his own ego with that stuff.
Yeah,
right,
with everything.
But my point is that, at least go, and at the very worst, it's exactly what we think it is, and you don't.
You
really
gotta.
have a
all you're doing is
conversation.
wasting your time.
You got your magic computer box. Please show me somewhere where he said having, Trump wanted these people, that people, something. I got to see this. Because up until recently, I paid a lot of attention to everything that came out of there until my brain really started hurting and I couldn't deal with it.
Right.
So, I mean,
it's interesting though that people are like the right is kind of up in arms about these Eagle players that are like, well, I'm not going to go. I don't like Trump. But
You don't have to like the guy.
in Obama's last year in office, because the 85 Bears never actually went to the White House. There was, with the whole the war going on at the time under Reagan, Obama was like, yeah, let's get the Bears to the White House. And like a couple Bears players were like, no, I don't want to go. I don't like him. I think he's dividing the country. I think he's destroying relations in this country. And nobody said a word.
Yeah,
nobody on the right was like, that's your president, you got to go.
Yeah, and I I don't understand why or how. To me, none of it matters. So I guess the sociological thing is why it matters so much to this individual. And then I started looking for other people, that use the hashtag, and like they are like, that's it. I haven't watched football all season, and I won't do whatever. And I like how everyone begins to use everything as a protest. Like something happens, dude, don't go to Starbucks anymore because they said this or did that.
Right.
Now, in the same token, I love Chick-fil-A, but I'm also, I don't like to label myself, but I'm a non-believer, right? I'm not in any of the non-believing groups. Like, I don't have a non-believing group shirt or a pin or anything.
I don't need to believe to eat chicken.
But they're super Christian, and then came out and said a bunch of stuff and did whatever. And then
Right.
other people were trying to boycott them and do whatever. And I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, if I'm hungry and I want chicken, I don't care who owns the chicken.
Right.
I don't care who owns whatever. But I do understand it's just funny that everyone's taking sides and then trying to get, just like that Monique lady, they didn't pay me enough, and that's anti-woman, and they're doing this and that, and they're showing discrimination. All my fans, you guys should stop watching Netflix. Like, no, dude, is it okay to just, like, a person gets slighted? Like, we don't all need to, like, grab pitchforks and light stuff on fire and, carry signs?
Chanting makes it important.
And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but when you go home and you lay down, you go to sleep, and you get up and put your britches on and whatever,
Really matter?
it's kind of just you, right? Nobody else is caring that what's going on with you and caring what's going on with the other person, unless you're in a labor union or you're in some kind of, super, group type thing or whatever. So,
Though earlier you were saying that you firmly are for the First Amendment, and
Well, I think we
back-
all are, right?
Mostly, I guess.
Okay.
But
him, he's
For
like,
the,
shut up.
during the whole when Sandy Hook happened, I had a ex-Army tanker working for the company I work for, and he put it to me pretty perfectly when Westboro Baptist started protesting in front of the school. He's like, I fought for their right to do that.
Right.
So it pisses me off that they're being kind of heartless, but you know what?
It's their right.
It is their right.
And it's our right to send them hate mail. And by the way,
All that gay porn people sent to the
their
neighbor's house.
their website has their address on it. So
Yes, it does.
get to writing some letters there, folks.
I love
encourage
though that somebody bought the house across from the owner, like the
Oh yeah,
and painted
it in the
pride
pride
rainbow.
flag. Yep.
Yeah, and look, I wish I cared that much one way or the other. I mean, it anger, like I look at it and I go, I disagree, disapprove, and look, I don't
It's
need
your right to disagree with it.
and I don't believe that some man in the sky is dictating the moral high ground of what's right and wrong and what's being ugly and
no,
what's
a great
being
drink.
disrespectful, what's being disrespectful to one or a human being or whatever. But still not enough for me to put pen to paper. Do I believe that my poetic words on paper are somehow going to completely, like, that dude's going to read it and go, yeah,
Be like, oh man, my views are so wrong.
or that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I swear to God, one more, and then, and that's it. We're going to love everyone and, do whatever.
And they don't read them.
And
No.
again, I don't even think that far. I wouldn't do it. It doesn't matter. We're on a giant rock hurling through infinite space. Like, everyone take a chill pill. Like, friggin' relax, man.
If you're Westboro Baptist and you get a letter and you don't know who it's from, that thing just immediately gets trashed because I guarantee they've had some anthrax sent to them, some other stuff like
Just pages and pages of gay porn or something like that.
right. Because that's what I do. I just print out as much gay porn as until my ink cartridge ran out, and I just box that up in UPS and send it to them.
I think people actually did that.
So what happened? Did you find anything to back up your support, sir?
So
What do you got?
I went and Googled it, but currently all of Google and Bing is just all about the Eagles players and Trump and the Eagles players and this and that.
So not easily sourced.
So not easily sourced, but that is how these heat sourcing algorithms work. It's what is hot now and not what actually did you search for, which
Yeah.
is one of my biggest pet
Okay,
peeves.
so we
So I'm
kind
going to the dark web on this one.
don't be dark webbing in here. The damn lights will go out in here.
Oh, come
and-
on, you're already on an FBI watch list.
Yeah, dang it.
Dude, I did get a weird call today from an area code that doesn't exist, and the end of it was like +1, and then 151, and then the number, and then a 1.
Which sounds international, overseas, or something.
But it's +1.
Yeah,
which means that's the U.S.
I don't know.
it could
weird.
be.
It's Guantanamo, bro.
Yeah,
It's the FBI being like, we know what you're going to talk about tonight, and you need to not. It's Donald Trump calling me, telling me that he wants to meet about no, ma'am, that we have a serious issue going on in Hollywood, and we need to talk about it and figure it out.
Well, and look, I get it. It's just nobody thinks or believes or has the same viewpoint on the majority of this crap. So to me, it literally drives me. It literally drives me bonkers. Like yeah, OPS just going back and forth. What's going on? It really kind of drives me nuts, man. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, some of the Eagles players aren't going. I get it, right?
Yeah.
But what I love is like you're like, oh, they said this and that, but it's the easy discounting. If you just watch a snippet on YouTube of Trump's racist remarks since since inauguration, you would get people that go, no, I really don't want to.
What about Obama's racist remarks? Because he did it too.
About what? Like, you got to say what was it? Like, what blatant thing that angered, like, who? Like, or what?
I like how I type in Obama's racist remarks, and the first thing says
Thanks,
Michelle
Obama.
Obama's racist. What do you call it? Her thesis. There you go. If you read Michelle Obama, and I encourage people to do this. You can go on and you can read her Harvard thesis paper.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 300 pages of why white people are the world's problems. Like it's like the most blatantly racist thing I've ever read that didn't start with KKK. Like it's pretty bad.
Well, I mean,
and like
source.
I also give her the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, I kind of get what you're trying to say here, but like if you just flipped everything, which is my racist test, right? It's my racist test, it's my sexist test, it's my genderist test, whatever it is, right? If you flip the race, the gender, the whatever, is it then racist? And if you flip it and it's racist, then it was racist to start with. Okay. So if you flip Michelle Obama's paper, it could have been written by the leader of the KKK. But you kind of get what she's trying to say at the same time.
Well,
You're like,
I mean, enlighten us. Like what? I mean, since you've read the,
right,
I didn't go. It just this is where you find out Al is like a closet like dislike the Obamas, and like I feel that, well, and it's got to be your country growing up background that you feel somehow slighted that somebody would say something bad about white people or whatever. Like what?
It wasn't like hey, white people have been getting the upper hand for years. It was like. I'm trying to actually get the article here, but Harvard went for years and like wouldn't release it. They had to sue them over it, so it's not exactly easy to find. I'm looking for some excerpts.
If you looked hard
here.
enough, you can find it.
1988 essay titled "Minority and Women Law Professors: Comparison of Teaching Styles." Where is it? All right, hold on.
Blah blah blah.
We're gonna keep looking here. I don't want to just bore you guys with. I want the actual paper. Give me the actual paper.
At some point when you go to but you make a lot of the same arguments that like John Q. Redneck makes in the same token where, they said this and that, or they said this and that, so it's okay for us to say this and that. And I'm like,
I'm not saying it's okay. At all.
But when you go and you've done it like 13 times when we mention that's not as bad as what Obama did or whatever, which is generally the Republican side of whatever. Like, they did this and that.
My point in all of this. My point in all of this is that it's also my point against Republicans and against Democrats and our whole system is like they're all doing the same thing. But none of you are opening your eyes and realizing that, like, you had 8 years of Obama. Nothing really changed. You're going to get 8 years of Donald Trump. Nothing's going to change. You're going to elect a Democrat. Nothing's going to change. Nothing has changed in this country for 50 years, yet we keep doing the same and we keep saying, well, it's the damn Democrats, and they're, nah.
Well, no, there's
politicians too. They point fingers at the other party.
Exactly.
And as well as anyone, there's powers that be and money, and those are the things that rule this. This is a corporation, bro. It's whatever. It doesn't matter who is sitting at table A or table B. They're gonna write some things in some executive orders and some things, and they're gonna rile up this and that, and then they're gonna look out for their people, right? I get in, I'm gonna go, vapors are cool, right? Vaping should be allowed everywhere, right? No more sanctions on vapors and whatever. And the next dude is, pro alcohol, and alcohol is the greatest thing, right? You're gonna look out for your people and for your things. And you get that, but generally you disenfranchise or you snub the 50% of everyone else who doesn't dig it and whatever. Right. And look, I heard everything under the sun, the Obama phone. Oh, we're giving these people, they get this and that, and now they've got a phone, and now they've got whatever, and we're just giving all this stuff away, which to me, look, I'm not a huge proponent of when I was in Texas and, I'm watching somebody, grocery, they've got a full cart. They're paying with a card, and they're opening a Michael Kors bag and doing this and this, and I'm using a beat-up wallet, walk out, they're getting into a brand-new Chrysler 300, I'm getting into a 99 Honda Accord. Don't get me wrong, the thing had like 278,000 miles on it.
The wrong people getting the help.
But that's the same thing with the Obama phone. That I still hear people griping about, the damn Obama phone.
Did you ever see an Obama phone?
I don't even know how it worked or whatever.
Right. Because I've heard so many people gripe and whine and complain about the Obama phone. I've never seen one.
Neither have I.
I don't think it was like a little phone that looked like Obama. I'm pretty certain it was
phone?
I'm pretty certain it was just some contracted phone that if you were on this, you could go to certain places.
Have you ever heard of anyone be like, "I've got an Obama phone"?
I don't generally. Most of everybody I hang around works or does something, or
if,
I'm working all the time.
If you listen to like the Republicans, you would think that like Obama phones are the devil, and they're everybody's got one, and it's costing us billions of dollars. And I'm like, I know a lot of people that are on welfare, that are on government assistance. I don't know anyone with an Obama phone.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was actually an Obama phone. Maybe they were given a little extra money to pay for a phone or to do something. I don't know how it works. I'm just going off of whatever rhetoric has been thrown around because I don't particularly care. I'd like us to stop fighting wars and doing stuff overseas and constantly in military action and stop spending the $1 trillion a year or 558 billion dollars to do crap that doesn't seem to be we're getting them
wheels.
We haven't heard anything about we're getting ISIS a whole lot lately or anything but daily operations. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I found and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but
thank you.
Yeah, right, because it's like 300 pages long. But we're going to take this a little bit through the racist test. If I flip black and white, is it racist? Okay. If I say that we need to segregate black people and white people because white people aren't comfortable around black people, is that racist?
Yes.
Okay. That's literally what she's saying here. She's saying we need to segregate classrooms because black people are not comfortable around white people. If it was racist one way, it's inherently racist the other way. Now, I also can read this thing and understand what you're trying to do here. You're saying, look, there is inherently these individuals who are coming from an area where they pretty much only knew racial violence and crime, and now you're sticking them into this high-class university where like 90% of people are white, and it makes them uncomfortable. They don't really have peers to look at. I get that. But it is inherently racist. So when the right comes out and attacks Michelle Obama for doing this, but doesn't turn around and attack Donald Trump for coming out and saying a lot of the same stuff that she says in this paper, it's wrong. But every time somebody says, well, Trump's racist, I'm always going to point and say, Obama said stuff.
Okay, but you
got to put it through the same prism.
But what's the Obama says stuff? Like, what do you and how do you mean? If we're basing engaging it on when somebody is at the podium with the seal and everything behind them versus like what? I mean, I listened to quite a bit of what Obama said and whatever. And I'm not going to pretend that, that there aren't, inequalities at points throughout whatever, right? And maybe his delivery and his way or whatever, but I don't recall, and I'm not a huge Obama fan. I don't care either one. Just don't sound like a buffoon and just do stuff and enough already, right?
Right.
So for me, it's been neither way, but you guys, you point out, Obama said a bunch of stuff. Okay, so he's behind the podium and he said what that was blatantly
that infuriated
people.
Direct quote. It was usually an effective tactic Another one of those tricks I had learned. White people were satisfied so long as you were courteous and smiled and made no sudden moves. They were more than satisfied, they were relieved. Such a pleasant surprise to find a well-mannered young black man who didn't seem angry all the time. Now flip the races. You read that and you go, sounds about right. You flip the races, that would be an extremely offensive statement.
To whom?
To black people. If you flip the races, that's offensive. Well, we can trick black people into, thinking we're cool.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess the reading it or whatever the context the first way didn't really. I mean, I'm trying to like
He also said, my favorite, I don't believe it is possible to transcend race in this country. Really?
Gave up before he even gave it a shot.
Like, did you try? Because if you look at it objectively, he damaged race relations more than any other president since we had actual slavery. I mean, we really screwed the pooch on that, and he tried. I'm not saying.
How do you mean? Like, I guess I need clarification.
Did we have all these riots in the streets, and did our president come out and instead of saying, "Geez, we should probably stop shooting innocent people. That could have been my son." It's an inflammatory statement.
That could have been my son. It
was the Trayvon Martin where he came out and he like whipped all the Black Lives Matter people up into a frenzy, turned into riots, made the statement that Trayvon Martin, that could have been my son. It's not politically savvy. You kind of just segregated the nation.
Was that there's a lot of good there were a lot of good people on both sides. I mean, when you look at
and that's the thing. That's what I would want him to say, right? Is like, look, you're the figurehead of the country. Instead of saying that could have been my son, it should have been, look, a young man died, and we're gonna get to the bottom of why it happened, but we need to work together. We need to reach across the aisle. This is not a black and white issue. This is something happened that was god awful. And we have to work together. All of us have to work together, not just split everybody down the middle. And now we're where we now you have Donald Trump because of this stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know if I catch that could have been my son or identifying because you're a black man and whatever. Like I didn't. Now how would that didn't infuriate me or inflame?
Well, it didn't infuriate me either,
like,
but we're not the people that are getting upset about this, right? Like we're not the ones who are like, oh man, this is awful. We need to go out and protest. We're the ones who are like, nah. I'm talking. These are the statements that infuriated the Donald Trump supporters. That's how we got to Donald Trump.
Yeah, but I just don't know if I see that as inflammatory in the manner in which Mexicans are all, you out of here?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
All right, man.
Gotta work.
All right.
In the freaking morning.
Gotta work.
Ain't got no Obama phone. He got to work.
Ain't got no Obama phone.
Dang it.
No Obama phone.
But see, I don't know.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for the shiwi, man. I'm gonna use it later myself.
Yeah, I might use it.
But see, I don't
want to cross streams while we use it?
I don't understand or catch that as inflammatory or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to relay, and I'm not the greatest person to do it, right? Because I'm not mad about this stuff. I'm like, I see it.
You're very quick to throw it out, though. I guess I don't know. Like you're just like them, only different.
I'm passionate about it, right? I want a president who comes and says, look, we have issues in this country. Let's work together. Black, white, pink, brown, purple, I don't care. We're going to work together. We're going to figure this out. We have officers running buck wild.
It was kind of Bill Clinton, though. But see, they're not federal officers; they're state officers, right?
Which
so
is,
you're dealing with, and not even state, county.
But there are at the federal level. Like, why are we giving tanks to police departments at the federal level? That's something that we could stop right now. Donald Trump could pick up his pen, write an executive order that says no more tanks. Like, we need a president.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's gonna
reach across the aisle, hold everybody's hand, and say, "Look,
we
gotta work together."
Bill Clinton was loved by all. But look, there's that, and yes, the back and forth. But see, the Obama thing, and something Michelle Obama wrote in whatever. Like, look,
right.
The hard part is for John Q. If you haven't lived in in urban areas or in extremely segregated, whether it be urban or in country, right? It's hard to understand what all crazy all crazy super country folks think and believe and feel, and then this, and then you got people who are in melting pot, areas where everyone seems to get along and it's kind of cool. Everyone's accepting of this and this. It's really, I have a hard time listening to John Q, random white guy, go, oh, well, blah, 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 I feel slighted. Like, everyone wants to use the I'm the slighted, like, we're white, male, Anglo-Saxon, like, dude, literally.
We're straight white males.
So you get all this, but then the further you go back, and you're like, oh, so you're not a minority, so you couldn't even get married in Mississippi to a person of another, and it wasn't
Until
because
like
of
30 years ago,
and it wasn't because of you, it was because of them, and it wasn't this, and it wasn't whatever, right? So you go through a lot of this, and when I listen to everything Obama said or whatever, and heaven forbid, again, if I was pro-Irish and I did whatever and said something pro-Irish, and well, see, he likes the Irish and not whatever, he's looking out for that Irishman, you're going to have an understanding, and especially if you're the first minority, first whatever, to say something that you care about or you feel passionate about or whatever, but inflammatory, I don't see, But like if he said kill Whitey,
that's the point is, like, we're not the ones that are looking at it being like, I'm so mad at that. But the guys that went out in droves and voted for Donald Trump, those are the ones that were mad about it.
And you're never going to please them. You're never going to please them regardless. The fact that, dude, if he was a black man.
JFK pleased him. Reagan pleased him.
They were
Nixon
also white.
Him,
they were
Clinton
also
white.
Him. They were
Trump,
also
Trump
white.
is white, and he ain't pleasing the rest. I mean, think about Ronald Reagan, right? Reagan won every single state except for the guy he was running against home state. Every single one of them. The entire country was rallied around him. Didn't matter if you were black, white, well off, not well off, Mexican. Didn't matter. You were like, this is my guy. Because he spoke to the country as a whole. In the last couple years, it's been like, I'm only speaking over here. What did Romney say when he was running? I don't even worry about 48% of the country because they're not going to vote for me.
Well,
like,
and that's...
Really?
Yeah, no, it's not a
like,
big...
okay, you're probably right, but really?
It's not a big humanitarian... Like, dude, there are no, like, Superman of the people and whatever.
Right.
It's literally factored down to where you kind of... Everything is somewhat transparent to that point. That, yes, you're winning to do whatever, and when you win, you're going to look out for your people. And the rest... now, the generalized... the generalized politician and the generalized, okay, cool, so the economy, everyone gets a job. You know what I mean? Like, oh, everyone's working and it's going to be better. But, I don't care about this or this. And, he's painted himself into a corner on the race side of it to where, Hispanics that feel passionately about whatever, about anyone, obviously African-Americans and whatever, it makes it very difficult to go, I want to go hang out with that guy.
What's interesting is that as we talk about this, there's a pretty clear choice, at least for us Michiganders, on who we should have, the type of person we need. It's Rick Snyder.
Yeah, but then he
all right,
he
sure.
also didn't handle making sure people like in an area that's predominantly whatever. I don't think he's going to get that vote.
Well, wait a minute, because I will call BS on that one every single day, and I've done it before. The whole Flint water crisis. Flint City Council, which is 100% black, was the ones who voted to switch from Detroit water to Flint water. The Michigan EPA came out and said you have to inject a different version of the substance that coats the lead pipes to keep the lead from breaking off in the water. And they said no. They said it costs too much money. Rick Snyder then came out and said, here's $100 million. And they went, meh. It wasn't Rick Snyder. He went above and beyond. He did not have to come out and say, we're going to divert $100 million out of our own budget to fix this. And if you actually look at the last 8 years of this country, coming from Granholm, where we went from 50th in the nation in jobs to we're in the top 10 now. I mean, the dude worked.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm not. He did it by doing exactly what I'm talking about. He did it by getting black and white and Republican and Democrat to all hold hands and sing Kumbaya and just do stuff that works.
Oh look,
and like,
dude,
we
Michigan,
need a guy like that.
Michigan is much better at doing, at everything than it was a few years ago. Kind of hard not to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can't go below 50.
Any lower.
You can't top the list any further.
Right. But it was a pretty dramatic jump, and You know, those of us old enough to remember the end of the Granholm era, there were no jobs. Gas was, you couldn't put gas in your car at all. I mean, we had $5 gallon of gas prices because Granholm made the bright idea of, we're going to bring all these jobs into Michigan with the Hollywood studios coming in, and nobody stood up and said, those are temporary jobs. Those aren't feeding families. I mean, that was a big deal, if you remember, and it just kind of pushed us lower. I mean,
Well, you do know the gas prices are kind of a national thing. I'm just saying.
It
just
was a
Michigan,
national thing, but we were way above the national average. I
We-
mean, if you look at
we
it,
always are.
We usually are, but we were way above where we usually are. I mean, it was the national average was like 445, and if you go along the trends, our gas should have been like 465. We're about 20 cents higher than the national average because of, cost to get it up here and yada, yada, yada. We were like 515. I mean, we were way up because of taxes on this and taxes on that. And you know me, I hate taxes in all shapes and forms. But this is why. Because you start taxing things and it doesn't actually solve any problems. You're just making it harder for me to buy the things I need, like gas to get to my job, if I even have a job. But we need somebody like that, who comes in, gets the Republicans to shut up and stop being stupid, and the Democrats to shut up and stop being stupid and work together. We need another Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton should be up there as one of our better presidents of all time, but everybody just kind of remembers him from the Monica incident, which, I'm sorry, if you're the president and you want to catch a blowy, your job is literally the worst job you could ever have. You're working 16-hour days, and no matter what you do, half the country hates you. If you want to catch a blowy, you go catch a blowy.
Yeah, I think you should be able to. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I just, again, it's kind of weird because I don't care, but all I can do is point out the real quick that, Obama was racist and he said a bunch of racist thing, and then I asked the racist thing, and I go, okay, what was racist about it? That he said something, it's inflammatory or it's whatever, versus what is being said, currently, right?
And I also think as a country, we're a bunch of freaking pansies now. And I think that's my generation's fault. You can't say anything without somebody getting hurt.
Well, and here's the thing, like, kind of dove off on racism and whatever else. I don't believe in racism. I'm fully 100% okay with not liking people, not liking a group of people, right? Because it's true, and I'm a nice enough dude, and I give everybody. I don't care. I like this or I like that. I like all kinds of people. I don't like people that are idiots. And, when you begin to group in a whole bunch of people, I don't care if they're white people acting like idiots, they're black people acting like idiots, they're Indians
cars
acting like idiots, they're whatever. Those are I don't like people that behave this way. So culturally, if you look at, I think it's 100%, I don't believe that's racist. It's not racist. I just don't like that culture, whether it be an urban culture of, I agree. Sex, money, shooting people, doing whatever, the rap and hip hop culture. I don't like it as a whole. Does that make me racist? Well, yeah, it's 99% black. Sorry.
Okay, so apparently you only don't like the 99% of that culture. If you're actually racist, then you only don't like the 99% of that culture. If you dislike 100% of that culture, that's not racist. Nothing of what you just said had race involved in it.
Yeah, but see, everyone will take it at, it's just quick to jump on, and they'll call something and be like, no, I don't like thug.
Right.
Like thug, I'm going to shoot you in the face, drug dealing, sipping, eating Percocet and Molly's and whatever, and drinking lean and doing whatever. I don't like that as a culture, right? I think it's stupid. I'm like, that's what you're doing with your life? That's not like a 19-year-old thing. That's something you do and whatever. And if I don't like that culture, I don't like that culture. Now, the funny thing is, and it's funny, our late night tea people, when you deal with
we're probably all gone at this point.
Yeah, dude, everyone's got to be.
I'm out of here.
You're talk about
I mean, you went
politics.
You went down on it.
I can't help it. I just asked you for, you got to give me cite some examples. But yeah, that made everyone's penis, even lady penises went soft listening to that.
Well, unless you're Trump supporters, then your penis is rock hard and you're like,
well, I knew he was a closet Republican.
How dare you talk about Trump like he's not smart?
See, look, he bashed Obama. This is good. We're on side of
That's the other thing I love is the minute you bash Obama, you are a Republican, but the minute you turn around and bash Trump, now I'm a liberal. And I can't just be like, I think they're both idiots.
Yeah, no, well, dude, I'm gonna go more idiot than I'm definitely gonna swing the pendulum one way or another.
Well.
Just the ability to, to articulate your point, statesman-like behavior, anything. I'll give somebody, at least you dress the part. But that's the whole thing. Like, I don't like, and I also don't like, and if I say I don't like urban gangster hood, just all the things that, comprise that.
Right.
I also don't like country, yeehaw, flag toting, gun. I don't like that. And it's generally on an intellectual and behavioral standpoint, right? I don't like it. I don't like ignorance. I don't like ignorance if it comes from, white people, black people, Indian people, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's coming from somebody who's not the smartest dude in the room, right? But you have to know right or wrong or hate or and that, see, I use don't like. I don't like this group of people because of their behavior. I don't like this group of people.
I don't like people who decide to burn down entire cities.
Well, look at here in, like, even in southeastern lower Michigan. We have a lot of, and it's funny, like, just dirty white dudes who are completely immersed in in urban rap and hip hop culture and whatever. And, man, what are you doing tonight, man? I'm gonna grab 4 bars and I'm gonna drink some lean and boom, and possibly hold up a gas station.
Find me a baby mama. I'm gonna go sip some of that lean. I'm gonna hey man, you want to come over, drop some bars?
And dude, it is white folk central that do this, and I call it the
I grew up
Eminem
in the country, and I could just do that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and I call it like the Eminem syndrome. That there's so many, like, tough guy wannabe thugs and whatever, and it's bled, like, it's not even an urban thing. Like, it's a whole southeastern lower Michigan thing. And I also don't like young Mitt Romney looking dudes with their young preppy. No, I live in I live in Plymouth, and look at
like
me
the
and
young college Republicans at
no,
Michigan?
dude, and I just you pent up, get the stick out of your can
Right?
either. Like, could you at least maybe know a couple lyrics to a song, maybe know how to dance a little bit, like nothing great.
I like John Denver,
But also don't don't get like 7 neck tattoos and be on probation.
Don't get a neck tattoo that says thug on it.
So a lot of it, and look, I don't like that. I don't like that to me, it's just not a good look.
Right.
If you're Travis Barker and you're playing in a band and you're doing whatever and you want a tattoo and whatever, but what are you?
My favorite one was I said I didn't like that Hillary Clinton said that the founder of Planned Parenthood was her hero, because the founder of Planned Parenthood is like an outed racist, and I got called a racist for that. And I had to stop and be like, wait a minute. So the person who says, we don't want the word to go out, that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. Apparently I'm a racist for not liking that person. Apparently I'm a racist for not liking someone whose sole mission in life was to exterminate an entire population of black people.
Well, I mean, is that something he said, or did he go actively try and exterminate?
If you look at the things that Margaret Sanger said, you can go online, you can look this up. I just looked that one up. She talked about, we put Planned Parenthood in urban populations to make sure that it was the black folks getting abortions. These are direct quotes from her. Another one that I saw up here was the most merciful thing that a large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. Apparently I'm a racist for not liking this person, who, by the way, is white, and the person that said she was her hero is also white, and I'm white, but somehow I'm still a racist.
Well, that's just stupid people dropping the rate.
But that's kind of my point, right? Is that no matter what you do in today's world, doesn't matter if you're a Republican, a Democrat, the other side's going to call you racist. They're going to call you sexist. They're going to whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing. I really don't care.
If you say you want to build a wall because you're concerned about immigration, you're a racist.
Well, the funny thing is, I don't associate myself with any of those groups. This is one great thing of just going, I don't like this, I don't like that. I really don't care. right? I don't care one way or
I
another.
just want to be left the F alone.
But it
and
is-
I don't want government to tell me what I can and can't do as long as I'm not infringing on anyone else's rights.
Yeah, good luck
Like,
on that. Good
right.
luck on You do know you're having like a Willy Wonka like fantasy, right? That this is going to somehow change in your lifetime.
Oh, I don't. It's a very long shot that ever changes in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But like, this is why I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat, because they're both doing the same thing. My entire philosophy is don't tell me what I can and can't do, as long as I'm not infringing on anyone else's rights. That's
Yeah.
all I care about. Republicans, they're going to tell you what you can and can't do with your body, with, X, Y, and Z. Democrats are going to tell you what you can and can't do with your business and this and that. It's just a different side of the same coin. I mean, they're restricting something one way or the other. Doesn't matter what we do. The pendulum's just going to keep doing this, and nothing's going to change. And personally, I can't wait for Civil War, because I will just be sitting there in my house, just kicking back, letting them fight it out.
Dude, you can scratch that. The only way that was ever going to happen or will happen or would have or whatever is if we weren't completely staring down at our phones and doing
Right.
this and that. If it was, you
Civil
notice,
Wars, we're going to declare Civil War on Facebook.
yeah, and it's
Trump's going to send a tweet and be like, I'm kicking all them blue states out of the union. You're all gone. Civil War. And everybody's going to start fighting it on Twitter. It's going to be nobody's going to even pick up a gun.
No, and nobody technically cares that much or
Right.
whatever. They do there, or they think they do, and it's not going to happen. And this is
The Republicans will come into a state and be like, this is our state now. And they'll be like, cool. Go on Facebook. Republicans just took this state. It's crazy.
I just don't. It's weird because there's some people like you that care. I pay attention, right? Because I look at the hypocrisy of what's going on and what's being said, what was being said, and what's actually being done, and what's whatever. And so again, everything from a sociological standpoint, right? I just like to look at people, what they say, how they do,
Right.
how they react, what they're willing to do, and what they're willing not to do. But then again, I don't care because it doesn't really. When you look at your time spent on this planet, like even look at your day, it's like being in a bad relationship, like being involved in your government, unless you're actually going to be involved in your government, is like arguing with your chick for 2.5 hours, 3 hours about something, and you're
Right.
at home and you should be peaceful and
You should
and then,
be just wrestling.
and then you're still gonna go to bed at night. You're still gonna have sex. You're gonna, I'm sorry, I'm
what?
sorry, and then the next day is gonna start and it's gonna be exactly the same.
I'm not even sure we're on air right now.
Yeah,
This entire conversation might have been done off air.
yeah,
Because I just tried to hit play and it did not. I got a black screen.
yeah, no, it's
Maybe we got audio. No, there's no audio. It says we're live. It says we got one listener, but I got nothing. Oh, we're still here. All right, cool.
yeah, I don't know.
Marlene's our one listener here.
Yeah, mine just says error in loading. Like my stuff just was like, nope, you can't watch it. You can't deal
This
with
has
it.
got to be like this has got to be my motivation to actually get us moved away from Facebook Live, because I feel like this happens at least once a week. At least once a week, we're like, are we live? Are we not?
Well, is it?
just
And I
shuts
think
off.
it's got to be Facebook's platform. It's
Yeah.
got to be their platform. It's got to be, or the internet in here. I don't know how
Right.
all that is working and playing. And
On Friday, it just cut off, and we were like, all right, going to bed.
yeah, we were like, good. We really are over this
We're
or whatever.
done.
Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I don't care, and I'm always interested in why people care, and then the things that they believe, and then how much is actually factual. And then if you heard that, like the Obama thing is still gonna, like he said this, and well, that was inflammatory. So we went from a racist thing that all Mexicans are thieves, murderers, and rapists.
Oh, that's
and
just
then,
out and out racist.
And then, well, that could have been my son. And I'm like, you're saying that's the same. Like, okay,
No,
so what else?
I'm not drawing a direct comparison between Mexicans are thieves, murderers, and
It
rapists.
would
and,
kind of seem that way.
Well, that's because I don't speak well, which is also why I'm not an actual politician.
But if you have the, like,
But, like,
Obama, like, saying things racist, like, I looked and I went, okay.
to me, it's kind of the same thing. Because
That's totally not the same thing.
because it's still the effect of it is still the same thing, because all you're doing by saying things like that are you're dividing the country, and that's not what the country's more divided than it's ever been. I mean, this is about as divided as we've been since,
Well, but it has
since
nothing
Jim
to do-
Crow got repealed.
Look, it has
Like-
no. It's everyone's just more vocal about it. Guess what? Southern white folks and country folks did not like black folks back then, right?
I
The
agree.
majority of them. And you know
But
what?
we didn't have entire cities being burned to the ground over.
What is being burned to the ground?
Baltimore was pretty much burned to the ground
Over
during-
a
during-
police shooting.
Well, yeah, but this is the other thing that I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. This is what fucking bothers me about Black Lives Matter is there are actual like negligent police shootings that are racially charged, and you keep picking ones that are actually not that bad. You burned Baltimore to the ground over a thug who had literally just robbed a liquor store, not 15 minutes before, and then tried to grab an officer's gun. Like, that's what we're going to yell at, not the girl in Chicago who was walking home and the police officer shot her, or the guy in Idaho, and this was all around the same time. The guy in Idaho who was eating a pear, and the police officer killed him and said that he thought it was a grenade. Really? We're gonna riot about a thug and not the guy who was just trying to eat a pear? Guy just wanted some pear in his life?
Yeah, but I mean, look, whether it's misguided, if it's whatever, it's like you saying, well, yeah, see, that's what so and so said, and it's the effect, and see the effect and divided. Look,
But it is the effect, right? It's when you burn a city to the ground, it doesn't really matter anymore what it was about, because now it's kind of like I can't get behind that movement.
Oh, no,
I can't get behind anybody
that
who's going to
movement,
burn an
guess what?
entire city, destroy shops.
Guess what, though?
Destroy primarily black-owned shops.
that movement wasn't for you to get behind in the first place, right? I'm not. Look,
Why not?
I don't know, but I'm fairly certain you
so
weren't their
the
target.
movement in and of itself is inherently racist then, because you're excluding me based on the
Stop
color
using.
of my skin.
Stop using. Nobody's excluding you. You're
That's-
more than welcome. But I don't think it was you who were meant. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this and that, and I bet you Al's going to come and all his buddies. Look, that whole thing, right? And that's the whole. You're just as bad because you call racist just like anything else. Well, see, somebody's calling me racist. Well, I would be racist. Look, I don't agree with anyone that in groups of people and whatever. I forced somebody to watch goddamn Gangs of New York, and she was like, oh, they really treated Irish people bad back in the day and whatever. Sure. They treated anyone who was coming in the exact same thing. So hate is hate and dislike is dislike, and it's whatever and however. But when you have the majority of people, and the people majority and have been in power and have been whatever, and the same things go on.
Right.
Now, we did that whole conversation that if a dude walks in with a hoodie, hands in his pants and whatever, and blah, 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 and, hey, man, can I help you? No, I'm just looking around or whatever. I'm going to be sketched out.
Right.
If it's a white dude biker who comes in with chains and whatever, and he's got his hand, on his hip or whatever, and he's got a long coat on, I'm going to be nervous
gonna be
and
sketched
sketchy.
out.
I'm going to be, versus any individual who walks in and, hey, buddy, what's going on, and whatever. That dude could easily be like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Pull out a gun and whatever.
Right.
So it's preconceived.
See, that's how I would rob a bank, because I wouldn't come in all sketchy. I would just come in and like, what's going on? Yeah, I'm going to need to make a withdrawal. Okay, sir, can I have your debit card? Yeah, no, you're just going to give me all the money. like get them so that they're kind of like, wait, what? Oh. Not like come in guns blazing.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's weird. The whole thing is weird because nobody has the exact same viewpoint, right? And
No.
people would be like, oh, those two white crackers and whatever. They technically not talking about me, right? Because I'm like, look, yeah, you have more preconceived notions of, dang, Black Lives Matter, and then dang, the racist groups, the white groups,
I don't like it when you're like your leader of the movement comes out and is like, white people should die.
Yeah,
That was kind of mean.
But see, I don't take
felt
it-
a little offended there.
I don't take it as oh, white people should die and I'm going to be offended. I don't care about the rest of you white people, right? Sorry. I don't care. I don't lump myself in with you. You know what I care about is me and my direct people I'm in conflict with.
But that is a big difference, right? So you're in like the absolute minority of like, you don't want kids, you don't care. For me,
I
it's
really
like
don't.
I do want kids, and I do want to leave the world a better place for my kids and my grandkids.
Good
and,
good luck.
I will, as long as I'm
You-
here.
you're just-
as long as I'm here, I will fight for everyone's rights. It doesn't matter who you are, but if I see injustice, I will call it out. If I see double standards, I will call them out. I will always do it because I care.
See, I only care about the in like if I was out and there was a group of dudes and random dude, I don't care if he's white, black, purple, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to like the downtrodden and whatever if I'm there. But guess what? If I'm not there and it's not affecting me personally on a personal level, I'm not going to. I'm not going to sit at home and go, "Oh my God, did you see that?"
Right.
Blah blah blah, and I'm all fired up about it. It would have to be in my.
I'm also the person.
Thanks for cutting me off, but go ahead. We're gonna have to work on it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on it. Sorry, continue.
No, I'm done now. I'm done. I just want to
to
point it out when I'm like, and you. But yes,
I tried to slide in right at the end and I mistimed it.
God damn you.
I'm bad at that. No, but I'm also the person who, like, when that stuff happened in Baltimore, I went to Baltimore and I helped for a weekend rebuild their city because I saw something that wasn't right, and I went and I did something that I would want somebody to do for Detroit, right? When the hurricane hit in Texas, I started reaching out to groups and I said, what do you need? Do you need bodies? Do you need money? What can I do? That's the type of person I am. I would hope that if my house was destroyed by a hurricane, there would be people in Texas saying, what do you need? I've got money. Let me give you some money. I've got a truck and a boat. Let me come down there.
So you don't believe the federal government should take care of that?
No, I do not.
No?
No, I do not. I believe the state government should take care of that. Federal government should literally be in charge of protecting our rights, which they don't. They constantly trample on them, and protecting this country, which is the military, etc. State government should be in charge of things like disaster relief, things like education, things like taxes.
Well, then we should probably give the majority of our money and our
taxes,
tax stuff should go to the states and not to the feds.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a big problem. Is like the Department of Education shouldn't even exist. Betsy DeVos shouldn't be the Secretary of Education because there should be no Secretary of Education. Which is funny that she's the Secretary of Education because she's on record as saying like it's dumb and we shouldn't have it. Now she's that. But that's like my whole view, right? Is that people need to start just being good people.
Yeah, it's not going
Like,
to happen. Since the dawn of time, people have been bad people, bro.
I know, but
show me a group of like really good
if we
people.
could just be,
even good people hate other people.
But we used to. Yeah, the country didn't used to be like this. Like it goes back to the whole, well, back in my day, but it's kind of true. Even when we had Jim Crow and we were going through the bloodiest time we'd ever gone through since the Civil War with the Civil Rights Movement, you had people getting on buses and going to places because there was injustice happening and protesting and holding arms, linking arms together and saying, we're not going to stand for this, and marching on Washington. Could you imagine getting millennials out to march on Washington? They're like, oh, well,
we've already had the women.
I do live in Washington. People
in
in Oregon aren't going to Washington to march.
We've had the women's. We've had the gays.
Right. We've had the women's march, the gays march. Not one of them came even close to the level of outrage that is apparently here. If you're so outraged by what's happening, get off your lazy butt and do something about it.
Yeah, but
Stop posting on Facebook and go do something about it.
I'm not a marcher either. Like I don't know what, like if you're taking away
Then you're not
boobs or
outraged
porn or
enough.
something, But even then,
so if they were like, Jake, you can never look at boobs again unless you get up and you march on Washington, your ass is getting a plane ticket that day.
But then again, marching on Washington doesn't technically do anything. It brings awareness. But it's not like, oh, here they come. There's a bunch of people. Cool, let's get out our pens and do whatever. Right? It doesn't
that's
technically.
Where it goes back to once we have awareness, we have to start meeting with people. We have to use this platform.
What do you don't bring me into it. I'm going home and hanging out with my dogs.
Well,
that's why you exist. You take much
that's
longer
why I
steps
exist.
than
there
me.
You go.
You've got much longer steps. If
It'll
anyone
take
was
me
going to
half
march,
the time to get up to
exactly. So
Washington.
why would I? I'm going to be way in the back. There's no way you and I could do it together, anyways. You've got much longer stride than me, sir.
No, we've kind of raised a generation that likes to be keyboard kiddies. When I was growing up, we called them script kiddies, that the hackers that didn't actually know what they were doing, so they'd download a script off of, GitHub, which didn't actually exist back then, but they'd get a script and they'd run the script and go, oh, I'm a hacker, and call them script kiddies. I call these keyboard kiddies. You're so offended by everything, and you're so up in arms, yet all you're doing is posting on Tumblr. You're not getting up and going down to your local college and saying, I'm offended by this. I'm going to stand up for this. You're not joining the movements. You're not donating to the movements. You're doing nothing. You're sitting behind a keyboard and you're going, meh. It's kind of you're a glorified YouTube troll.
Yeah.
You want to be offended by something? You're not offended until you get up and you would donate out of your pocket. You donate time. You donate money. You donate clothes because somebody doesn't have any. Their house is underwater. You're not offended until that happens.
Yeah, it's kind of weird with all the organizations and all the other stuff and whatever. I kind of think they got it covered, like, I mean, I get it. I like to see the outpouring in Texas where, people
Ginger
from
lives matter.
Uh-huh.
Joey Kelly, Ginger lives matter.
You know what?
There
I
you
really
go,
don't
Joey.
care about them either, right?
Let's
dude,
get mad.
Dude, you know what? Where were a bunch of gingers running up to protect me when I was having a fight in 8th grade because I was getting called redheaded names and whatever? Didn't happen. Here's one thing you got to realize.
Ginger came up.
Here's where you got to realize. It's all about you, right? Trying to group yourself in with a ton of other people. Guess what? They go home, they do whatever. Look at every movement that has come and gone and come and gone and whatever. You know one thing about it? They come and they go.
Yep.
Worry about yourself. Deal with yourself. Dude,
And I absolutely respect that opinion. For instance, probably the only time you're actually going to get me out of, not like a, hey, this person needs help, their house is underwater, or, this person's shop was destroyed and you've got time and you're an able body and can help. The only other time you're going to get me out in an actual protest is if the government comes knocking at my door and says, give me all your guns.
Or your knit cap.
Or my knit cap. You tell me to give you my knit cap, I'm going to have to use my guns.
Yeah, but you know what I love
That's
is that
the
everyone.
only time you're actually going to get me out of the house. And the only reason you got me out of the house for that is because now you know where I live and I just killed a federal officer. So now I got to run and I got to go hide.
Just so we know, that's Al saying all this on whatever, not me. I didn't use
Don't try
any
to
of
take
the
my guns.
Yeah, and it's communal, right? Because in downtown Wayne, if this and that happened, guess what? I would help my downtown Wayners and whatever.
Yeah, well, that's your community.
But only my community. Anything other than my community, that's
But
your
you're
community.
still
It's your
doing,
people.
You're still doing more than 90% of these keyboard kiddies. Because they would happen outside their front door and they wouldn't leave the house.
Al just got all tall on me. I look at the thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you tall bastard.
Wait, can you even see me now?
I mean, I can. I've got it on OBS.
Oh, okay.
So the good thing is I've been recording on OBS. So regardless of what kind of,
if we cut out,
well, I guess Marlene's still active. She's sitting in a hospital bed. We got her.
right? I mean,
she ain't
like,
going
I ain't
nowhere.
going nowhere. You guys can do this all night.
We're like, I'm
I
watching.
can't change.
Yeah, I'm watching TMZ.
We're
and whatever.
muted. She's got TMZ on. She ain't even paying attention.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird the not caring gene. And don't get me wrong. I think I've cared about things. And then I watched how things, because I'm super observant, right? I've cared about things and I've watched things, and then I watched everyone no longer care about them, right? And I think I was maybe the last guy out there going, what happened? I thought we cared. And everyone went on to the next thing or, went to do whatever. So
now if you actually, if No Ma'am took off and they said, we need a speaker for No Ma'am, I'd be there in a second.
yeah,
Because I actually care about that because that affects me daily. I mean, I think it's the wrong attitude to say, well, it never happened to me because it hasn't happened to you yet. But
But see, it's also like complaining or being passionate about the weather, right? The weather will change. We've seen that. It doesn't rain forever, right? Except for in that crazy storybook, right? Doesn't rain forever. It doesn't do whatever. And when you watch
that
these,
it does not rain green eggs and ham.
no, Sam, I am. You've got other, look at all these things, even look at how things are happening, and now you're getting backlash, and now you're getting whatever, and it's beginning to level without me doing anything, right? I don't think we've been a huge influencer on something one way or the other, but, But on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm over, and I'm tired.
Hit Marlene with the Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, but I don't think it'll pick up on anything through there.
Well, then get yours out here, man. I know you got YouTube up there.
Yeah, but dude, anything
And YouTube, not RedTube.
Yeah. Anything. Well, dude, my computer died on there also, and that's where that's at. And we got to think, dude, Facebook will block us because using unauthorized whatever. I think they'll identify his voice.
Oh man.
That's why I can get away with the
we're
weird.
Gonna have to modulate his voice or something.
Just a little bit. We'll do it in T-Pain style.
All right.
But on that note, we're going to get out of here, and hopefully we'll try and figure out the shoddy. Or if not, we'll just start doing it on YouTube Live and just redirect everybody over. The YouTube Live seems to go through without a problem, without a hitch. Maybe we're whittling down on Facebook or whatever, or I'll just sit home and Google why Facebook
Sucks.
Facebook Live doing whatever, and I've got, I don't know. We'll have to see. But all right, on that note, don't do drugs, kids.
Or do. It's your body and your life.
And quit labeling yourself as everything that you're a Christian, you're a libertarian, you're a Republican,
Or
you're racist.
It's your life.
Al's racist. Borderline.
Don't blow your arm off. Or do. It's still your
It's
life.
either way. Oh, or when they come for my guns. I love how everyone uses the gun thing, and nobody's ever come to the house and went, "Give me your guns."
Probably because they know we'll kill them. Like,
You're not gonna
let's be honest. The entire Second Amendment is there to protect us from exactly that.
One or two, you have a bunch of whatever. When you think about, that's you, and you can't borrow a tool from your neighbor, and that guy calls the city when you don't cut your grass, and you guys are somehow going to band together and create a militia. Don't think so. Think it's only about you.
Probably not, but
So a tank.
you still ain't taking my guns.
Yeah, a tank and a
Might have to
whatever
get
they
me
will come
some
in.
of them sticky grenades.
That's
for the tanks.
what David Koresh said also, but we see how that worked out. All right, this is the Bachelor Pad. I'm over today. Goodbye.